You know, I think there's a real interesting dynamic coming into the stepladder finals. 2 lefties, 2 righties. And the right-handers, Shawn Maldonado, talking with him earlier, he said he's going to go with his urethane and play pretty straight. And I said, well, how do you think that's going to affect Tyler Jensen, the other right-hander? And he said, you know what, I crossed with Tyler, did the same thing, and Tyler loved it. The big question mark for me, Tom, is what's going to happen on the left side, because we've seen it so many times where we have multiple lefties on the show, and they struggle. And you would think it would be just the opposite. They burn a nice spot up, maybe move in off of that, and use that to their advantage, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens today with, you know, if you're going to have the same thing. If Shawn's going to throw urethane on the right, Jakob's also going to throw urethane on the left, and Shawn is not throwing.
That was not urethane.
So he must have made a decision late in practice to change his mind. But I think Jakob's a little bit further left than Pepe. Don't know if that will affect Anthony or not. I watched the last few games with Anthony because we're rooming together this weekend, and he threw it really well. He's bowling really good. As you guys saw there, that last position round match, he bowled a great game.
Yeah, he really did.
Shawn.
Yep.
Just, you know, Shawn happened to bowl better.
Yeah, it really interesting that Shawn moved right and played a part of the lane that we didn't see get much attention. Everybody moving way in, creating a big angle to the pocket, and Shawn decided he would move right, and what a great call that was.
Yeah, Shawn's a great player. Coming up light on both of his first 2 shots here.
You know, and this is always a disturbing thing to see after 10 minutes of practice when a player comes out and goes back-to-back 2-8s. They're not, obviously not lined up. Obviously, they don't have a good ball reaction, and that's not what you want to see, especially in a 1-game match.
Right. I don't know if he's doubting himself. You know, if he told you he was going to throw urethane, if he's second-guessing himself.
Well, you know, he did that earlier today at the start of match play. He used urethane for the first 3 or 4 games and really did quite well with it. And then, obviously, the lanes broke down to where he had to go to stronger balls and move in. So it's real interesting to see that that's not the case right now, and urethane is not the call, at least in his mind.
Yeah, I crossed decks to Shawn yesterday, and he started with urethane yesterday.
Right.
For 3.5, 4 games.
Tom, how tough is this oil pattern early?
Early, I thought I had my best look early.
You had your best look early.
Yeah, yesterday I was bowling very well. I was 150 over after 3. And as I had to move left, they just, for me, I got all crossed up. That's going to have a shot. Oh, what a spare.
What a conversion. So, Tom, what was it about the early ball reaction for you that made them so good?
Well, I was able to play a little bit straighter.
Okay.
I'm not a big hook guy. I can't get in there and get around it like all these young kids that, with the 500 rev rate. And I prefer, after talking about it last night, thought I went left too quick. I should just use my speed.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that would favor a guy like Tyler Jensen, who is a little bit straighter, a lot straighter than a Shawn Maldonado with less rev rate?
Yeah, the other interesting thing that we've got going on here is they're bowling on a fresh pair that was oiled before they started bowling their 8 games. So we'll see what happens. That happens to do with the lanes.
This pair was not used today.
Right.
19 and 20. Fresh oil, fresh pair.
Right, but has been sitting there.
But it's been sitting for quite some time.
Right. So we'll see how that plays into
great
the
point.
lanes.
I was going to say, Tom, if he doesn't get to the pocket on this shot, it's time to panic.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, in 1-game matches, you better find it. You better find it quick. You know what's amazing about that shot, Tom? And you and I, we're very similar in styles. Kind of that medium type power. If that was you and me, we would have left a solid 9. as hard as that ball went through the pins. And these guys don't leave solid 9s a lot.
No.
Look out. Perfect.
Yep. Maybe it was just a little bit of nerves.
Yeah.
You know, bowling for his first PBA title.
You got to factor the nerves in. You got to factor the fact that it's a one-game match. But this is what makes it so much fun. You've been under the bright lights. You won a major championship. You know what it's like. But this is what it's all about right here. You know, people talk about pressure, and I tell them pressure is what makes it fun. Tyler Jensen just walks by, gave me a little wink of the eye. Oh.
Same thing that was getting Pepe in that last match.
Right.
7-pin.
Nice shot right here by Anthony Pepe. I think both players are using the same bowling ball.
Yeah. Yeah, the new rocket ship. So clutch. How good is that guy? Have you ever seen him fall off of a shot?
Yeah, no, I mean, from a technical standpoint, it's flawless, and nobody outworks him. You know, he keeps himself in great shape, works out, eats healthy, and really works at his craft.
Yes, he does.
Now, he's still young. When he gets to be our age, Tom, and he starts packing on the pounds, let's see if we still have the same conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy when you're a young guy. Sure, we were all skinny when we were his age. He really throws it nice, though. And you know, one of the things as a coach and teaching our students, we always teach them to post the shot up. Because if you can hit the foul line with good balance, you have a really good chance of hitting your target.
Absolutely.
And there's not too many better than Anthony Pepe of hitting the foul line solid. Just great balance and great form at the foul line. Here is the polar opposite of that.
Absolutely, yeah. With a nice little hop. But
His body gets so sideways that he has to.
But the kid can flat out play.
He's a great bowler. When you're, I mean, look at his hips when he gets to the step before the slide, or the hop, I should say. His rear end is pointing down to lanes 1 and 2. I really think that if he didn't hop, he'd fall down.
Yeah.
It's really an unusual style. Even with the two hands, he puts his thumb in the ball, but that hop at the end of the shot is something that you do not see on our tour. But the kid can bowl.
Yeah. You know, that's another thing that I love about this sport, Randy. It doesn't matter what you do. If you can repeat what you can do, you can have success.
Yeah, Tommy,
Yeah.
and we talk about all shapes and sizes. It's the beauty of our sport, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? With that being said, Tom, you still have to have athleticism.
Yes, you do.
No matter what the size of the player, there's so many of us out here that are great athletes that can play multiple sports.
See if you made any kind of adjustment there. He got up high flush.
Yeah, there's the adjustment. High flush into the pocket. But that Maldonado, I did an exhibition with him a week ago, and I watched him in action up close and personal. He's an amazing guy. Pepe with a perfect high flush pocket hit. Maldonado in the 220s. Anthony Pepe right now 2-0 pace.
It's a pretty big shot in the match right here.
Yeah, we're past the halfway point. That looked wide.
Yeah.
And paid for it. Anytime a player comes back and you see them kind of flip that hand around, that's an indication that they turned early. Let's see it. Yep, that looked a little early out of his hand.
And he fell off.
Around the side of it, falls off balance. The 3, 6, 7. Really, the only thing keeping him in this match right now is the similar conversion early.
And he
Back
made that one too.
Again with another huge split conversion, keeping Anthony Pepe alive. This is the other part of the equation, Tom, that I think really gets overlooked, is how great spare shooters our players are, and how great a spare shooter you have to be to compete at this level.
Oh, absolutely, yes. You know the old adage, strike for show, spare for the dough. Oh.
That was filthy. That messenger coming across like that, watch this, folks. Head pin to the sidewall and in front of the 10. How often than not do the two-handers carry that hit? That's the key.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, they carry it probably 70% of the time.
Absolutely, and that's the big difference. When you add up the score at the end of the game, you carry 3 out of 4 of those hits, and you and I are carrying 1 out of 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing by 20 a game. And over 42 games, guess what? Maldonado commanding 20-pin lead heading into the 8th frame. Ooh, he liked that one.
Yeah. Another quality shot.
So whatever happened in the first and second frame, Shawn has overcome the early championship round jitters, and he's come back really strong with a 4-bagger and back-to-back pocket hits.
Got ourselves a ball game here if Anthony can step up and make a couple of good shots right here.
Yeah, things could get really interesting if he doubles up. Max score, Anthony Pepe, 237. Max score, Shawn Maldonado, 246.
Carry.
All right. Big shot coming up here in the 9th frame for Anthony. Set up the 10th frame.
Looking like a must-have right now.
I think it is, because if he doesn't strike here, the best he can shoot would be 217 with a mark in the 9th, and Shawn Maldonado's already in the 220s. However, with as sensitive as the lanes are, you never know.
Right. Much better. Oh.
His hand was better, you're right, but it looked like he missed left. Let's take a look here. Hand was better.
Yep,
that ball looked like it just hydroplaned.
Yep. Didn't pick up as early as the last ones that are striking.
Anthony Pepe's run seemingly coming to an end. But you never know. 2 more frames to fill for Shawn Maldonado.
Seen stranger things happen.
Absolutely. Ooh, big mistake there. Now, you might as well pencil in Shawn Maldonado's moving on to take on Tyler Jensen. The whiff here on the 369. Yeah, 369. Hard for me to call those left-handed spares sometimes, buddy.
Yes.
Shawn Maldonado, driver's seat. Yeah,
that's
solid. That's some really good bowling right there. Good stuff. He will advance to face Tyler Jensen unless Tanya Harding comes out of the crowd and hits him in the knee with a bat. That's why I love Xtra Frame. I can get away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, guys. You got to admit, that was pretty good. And you got to love the fans here in Lubbock. They actually appreciated that. Good stuff. Unless, of course, Tanya Harding's from this city, and then I just created a bunch of enemies. Shawn Maldonado, 214. He will advance to take on Tyler Jensen. Great week for Anthony Pepe. Great always to see him back in action. He has a max score of 205. He will finish fourth and collect a nice check for how much? I saw the price one here. There it is. Anthony Pepe's going to put $3,000 in his pocket. Not a bad weekend, bro.
That's pretty good.
That's kind of like you and me in Vegas when we get together and we start rolling the dice, right?
Yeah. When was this?
Never.
I've been around on a couple of them rolls.
I don't play craps because I don't know how. I see people throwing dice and screaming and yelling, and I have no clue what's going on.
Well, then you need to get around Jeff Riggles. He'll teach you. He taught me.
Is Jeff Riggles a dice guy?
Jeff Riggles is a dice guy.
Well, hopefully I'll see Riggs out at in Vegas for Bowl Expo. Are you going to be at Bowl Expo?
I am not going to be at Bowl Expo.
You going to go back home for a bit, and then your next event is where, Tom?
My next event will be a Midwest regional in St. Louis.
All right, nice.
July 10th.
All right.
Not doing anything over the holiday weekend. Going to stay home, spend some time with the family
Atta
and the
boy.
kids.
Atta boy.
And then
have a nice 4th of July going?
Yep.
Little barbecue?
Probably do something. Don't have any plans set up yet.
Stay away from the fireworks, bro.
Yes.
It's proven trouble.
Yes, I want to keep.
You want to keep all the digits.
Yes.
Yep.
But no, after that, then my schedule really kicks up. Got lots of regionals.
Good.
To bowl. I will be attending Junior Gold this year.
Nice.
As my daughter has qualified for Junior Gold.
That's tremendous.
So
Congratulations.
yeah. Yep.
Big event.
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Looking excited. I mean, I've never been. Obviously, my daughter just started bowling again. She was a softball player. Decided she was done playing softball. Picked up the bowling, and so she's made it this year. I'm looking forward to going. I hear it's just unbelievable. 3,600 kids for
tremendous event. Worked it last year. Tremendous event. Jeff, your thoughts on match number 1?
We've expounded on that thoroughly, Randy Peterson. Maldonado escapes. He moves into match number 2 with Tyler Jensen, who spent a lot of time at the top of the leaderboard. He finds himself in 2nd. So Tyler Jensen gets a few practice shots now, and Jensen and Maldonado. Match number 2, semifinal match coming up next with Randy Peterson, Tom Hess, and I'm Jeff Kutcher.
Copenhagen pays way more than colleges. Rodeo, bowling.
All right, bowlers unit ready. Again, winner of this match will advance.
Practice is over. Tyler Jensen shakes hands with Shawn Maldonado. Bowling hand to bowling hand. In Shawn's case, half of his bowling hands. Randy Peterson, Tom Hess, along with me, Jeff Goodger. And quite the opening match. Entertaining.
It really was because, like Tom had alluded to, it was very interesting in the start by Shawn Maldonado, which was a shaky start. And it kind of gave us the impression that he didn't have a very good ball reaction. But, boy, did he change our minds real quick, didn't he?
Yes, he did. After he got over the first couple shot jitters. Making the 2-8. I mean, those aren't easy spares either.
He made him look pretty easy after that, Tom.
Yeah.
Tyler Jensen, Shawn Maldonado, Jakob Butturff. We are going to have a brand new PBA champion.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. First time winner today.
Who will it be? We will have a lefty-righty finale.
Yeah.
Maldonado is comfy and confident, and that is a really good combination, guys.
Yeah, when you know it's going to strike, when you let go of it, that's a pretty good feeling.
Tommy, you get that one game under your belt, and you have the perfect blueprint to get to the pocket. Then it's just switching on over to autopilot.
Yep. Tyler looks good.
Tyler Jensen, or as they say in Sweden, Tyler Jensen, yeah, for sure. Perfect pocket hit.
Our Swedish friends would be very happy with
Well,
that
you know they're
call.
tuning in, and they really appreciate that reference.
There's probably one big Swede that wishes he was here.
Jesper?
Yeah, maybe.
That guy's a beast, huh? That guy with urethane? That's sick to watch, isn't it?
Yes.
So fun. All right, Tyler Jensen, left lane. Let's see what he's got on this lane. Hey, how about you?
Yeah.
Nice start.
Yeah.
Now, aren't the dynamics interesting, Tommy, in that how players start, how they finish, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in giving us, the viewers, some type of glimpse into the future of what's going to happen in the match. Oh, that was dirty.
Both playing the same part of the lane. Tyler throwing a much stronger ball.
Tom, you follow these players with two hands and the high rev rates. What happens to your line when you're playing a similar part of the lane? How much transition do you see in front of you?
A lot.
What's Tyler Jensen going to see in front of him in this one-game match?
In the one-game match, probably not very much.
Really?
I wouldn't think. Yeah, Shawn is I wouldn't consider Shawn to be a super high rev. I mean, his rev rate's not Belmo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Probably not even EJ.
Okay.
Yeah, he throws it with two hands, but to me,
I agree.
I think it's more of a one-handed roll.
Dude, that looked like it
my
was.
opinion.
That looked like it was way left.
Yeah.
That was like 17.
Just developing a little hold, maybe.
Unless
Or maybe
he just
he
moved in
left.
there.
Yeah.
So now, if Tyler Jensen is right of that at the arrows,
That's going to be making Shawn's.
doesn't that affect Tyler in some way? I mean, that would affect his hold, I would think,
Probably.
if there was any. If he's not in the same part of the lane.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's in there. Oh!
Yeah, they're pretty close to the same part of the lane.
He's actually. I agree. Let's see where this laydown is. Oh no, he's like 3-4 right.
Yeah, he's just a little bit right.
But in a one-game match, you don't think that Maldonado being 3-4 left of him, you don't think Tyler's going to see that with a mistake left of target?
With a mistake left of target,
He'll see
yes,
that? Okay.
I would think. Yes.
All right. Pretty good shot there by Tyler Jensen, though. That could have struck, and that would have been nice because he would have taken a three-bagger into the fourth frame. Shawn Maldonado, strike, spare strike. Tyler Jensen with an early lead. Packed house here at South Plains Lanes. Try saying that 3 times really fast. Great crowd all weekend long. The great people of Texas have embraced us. Lubbock, just a great sports town with great people, and they're here to support professional bowling.
Yeah, it was packed in here yesterday.
Oh, it's been awesome all weekend long.
Oh, that was
Wide right.
Oh,
Would-
and a little get back.
Now, you know, when that one went out for cheeseburger and fries and came back with steak and baked potato, because look at that. It looked like somebody kicked it halfway down the lane. Unbelievable. How many shots have we seen like that missed the head pin?
Shawn's first 2.
Right? That was sick. Ooh,
Another light mixer.
nice. Both players look like they have a great line to the pocket and a little mistake area. Almost leaves the blowout 6-spin. What?
That one was about 17 too also,
Right?
I think maybe Shawn's made a move.
But, you know, Tom, the big shot was Tyler Jensen getting it that far right and getting it back. Man, if that doesn't free up your arm swing, forget it. That's like getting bailed out of jail. Oh, no. And right now, Shawn Maldonado's got to feel like he's being slowly poisoned with bad carry because he's flushed just about every shot. Not friendly there. Massive ring in 10. 5th frame, Shawn Maldonado. A spare. The match is all even. Tyler Jensen steps up in the 5th now, can take the lead, working on a strike. Tyler quickly to the reset button for a re-rack. That's what I used to say to my orthodontist back in the day. Hey, Doc, I'd like a re-rack.
How many re-racks of your teeth do you get in a lifetime?
Well, I actually had 2 re-racks because the first time I didn't wear my retainer, so my teeth went back the way they were. So I had to get braces on again. So Tyler Jensen now up in the 5th frame, looking to double up and take a 10-pin lead. Ooh! Tom Hess, baby! That was filthy.
That was nasty. Yes, that was.
Tyler Jensen right over 3rd die, and just the messenger comes a hunting for the 10.
I think the fact that Tyler's throwing a stronger ball is going to give him a little advantage.
And why do you say that?
Well, it looks to me as, you know, Shawn's rung 10 twice. He's moved a little left, and he's getting a little bit further push down the lane.
Right.
Just
Ball comes in a little late.
Yep.
You like the stronger ball?
I do.
All right.
That's my.
Look at that pin up to kind of carry it down a little bit. That's an asymmetrical bowling ball.
Yep. He's locked in.
He's been using that ball a lot this week too. That looked so good out of his hand, and I'm looking at a TV monitor. I can't see the bowlers because all the fans are in front of us. They got center stage watching this great action, but look at that hand right around.
Right over 15.
Right? And what, and anytime you see the 6 snap the 10 out like that, oh, you know you threw it great. Shawn Maldonado trying to get back into this match. And Tom, are we back into that same kind of scenario where it's kind of a must-strike situation here, even though it's only frame 7 for Shawn?
Yeah, and I think the reason that one carried, that one was a little bit further right down lane, had a little bit better angle coming to the pocket.
So when he gets it left,
if he misses in, it's still going to hit the pocket, but
it pushes just a hair long, right?
Wraps that 6 right around the 10.
Let's watch for that on this shot, folks. It almost, does it look to you like the left lane maybe hooking just a bit more?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Well, he just filleted the rack on that shot, getting himself back into this. Shawn Maldonado right now in the 2 teens. Tyler Jensen going at a 220 pace.
Did he just take his second re-rack of the match?
You're right, he just took his second re-rack on the same lane, that right lane. Working that chamois, getting all the oil off of that bowling ball. You could see that layout. Great camera angles and great camera work by $2 Phil, who's down there on the lanes giving us these great pictures.
You're giving him $1.50 too much credit.
Good one, Tom.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
Big shot here.
Oh.
Now that was the right shot that he did, that he got on the left lane that got back.
Right.
Yep, right of target,
yeah.
missed it. And lucky only to leave the 4 pit.
Yeah. There's a pair down at the high end of the house where the rack's not so good. Ronnie Russell had that exact hit, left the 4-7-10 on that exact hit.
Isn't that crazy?
Today. 1-pin match if they strike out.
258 max score for Tyler Jensen.
259 for Shawn Maldonado.
There you go. Big shot here for Tyler Jensen. You know, this is always a scary shot for me as an analyst, because the tendency after a miss right shot is to come back and overcompensate, and the tendency is to always miss left. It's like going 210 on the right lane, big 4 on the left lane.
Yes, sir. I do it all the time. That was really good, though.
That was really good. His hand going through the back of the ball was so much better on that shot, Tom. Great call. Look at that. The fingers right behind the bowling ball, folks. Rolling it beautifully. Just a quarter, like a little quarter turn at release. Great shot.
Ball ran the 8 over.
Yeah. Now, Shawn Maldonado controls his own destiny.
Yes, sir.
If Shawn Maldonado strikes out, there's nothing Tyler Jensen can do. Talk about 10 in the pit. Look at that. That's around 18.
Yeah, I think he's definitely cheating left every couple shots here.
Just kind of keeps bumping it left, doesn't he? Again, another player working that chamois, getting all the oil off. Shawn Maldonado taking very little time, which I love. Paralysis through over-analysis. Get up and throw it. Oh, no.
Oh, that's way right. Wow. That lane's got to be hooking more. They've both missed right on that lane, on the left lane.
Absolutely right. That is a good 3 boards right on the lane that actually returns. You do that on the right lane, partner, hang city.
Yeah, we just saw Tyler do it.
Right, so here is the championship in a nutshell. I believe if Tyler Jensen strikes out, he wins the game. And the reason why I say that is because all of the pressure will be on Shawn Maldonado, who has never won. It's up to Tyler Jensen to make him show up. But he must strike out, in my opinion, to have any chance of winning this game.
Yes. Oh, looked like he hung up in it a little bit. That ball got out onto the lane.
Never cleared the thumb, and the ball hydroplanes for about 56 feet. 2, 4, 8, 10. Game, set, match. Shawn Maldonado is going to bowl for the title against Jakob Butturff. Well, a great week and a great run for Tyler Jensen, but it's going to come down to that one shot in the 9th frame that's going to cost him a chance at his first ever national title.
Pretty good week for a guy who's got a job. Doesn't do this full
Yeah,
time.
you know, he bowls enough, not full time. He's bowled the World Series of Bowling. He bowls these events every now and then. He bowls regionals, but you know, a great showing and a great finish, and $6,000 for a 3rd place finish for Tyler Jensen. My buddy. Great week, Tyler. Left lane is a good lane. Here's the question for you, Tom Hess. Does Jakob Butturff make Shawn Maldonado finish on the right lane, given that, would you not agree the left lane is the better of the 2 lanes?
I would agree that for Shawn, definitely the left lane is the better lane, even though he rung the 10 twice over there. He's got a little bit more room to throw it to the right to get it back. The only exception to that may be whether Jakob has a lane that he prefers, or, you know, the other deciding factor to making Shawn finish on the right is if Jakob wants to finish the match, or finish the match first, so that to
Right.
try to put the pressure on Shawn.
Exactly. So if both lanes are equal, coming into the title match, you're the tournament leader, you have the choice of starting lane, and the choice, and obviously with that, decides who finishes the match and on what lane. If all things are equal and Jakob likes both lanes equally, you make Shawn Maldonado finish on the right lane.
Yes.
So you finish the match first on the left lane, which means you make Shawn Maldonado start the championship match. We'll see if that happens.
When I'm in a situation like that, Randy, and I've got him playing the same, I don't necessarily look at what the guy on bowling's doing. I want to finish first. I want to try.
You like to finish first and post?
I want to try to post the score.
I've you know what, I've heard both sides of the street, and I don't. There's Tom, for me, there's something about getting up in the 10th frame last and coming through in the clutch that it's a feeling like no other.
Oh yeah.
And
I cried on national TV doing it.
I know. It was, yeah, you beat Jack Jurek. It was a great, great match. I'll never forget it. I interviewed you.
Yes, sir. I don't think I will either.
You see that little push on the right lane for Shawn Maldonado? I wonder what kind of strategy Mr. Butturff is going to have up his sleeve going into that title match.
Be interesting to see. That's, you know, you bring up a great point, Randy.
Just a little extra push on that lane. But Shawn has got a great blueprint. He's been following the transition. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Shawn Maldonado bowled 300 in the title match.
But, you know, both of these guys, I expect a very high-scoring title match. The only thing that might affect that is the fact that, you know, it's one game for your first PBA national title.
All the nerves are in Jakob Butturff's corner right now.
Yeah, Shawn's been out there for
Shawn's
2 games.
out. Shawn, there's no nerves. There shouldn't be any nerves for Shawn. He's got 2 games under his belt. He's got a great blueprint. He knows exactly what he's doing. Unless he starts thinking the wrong thoughts, there shouldn't be any nerves going on at all.
No, I can be the guy that makes sure he has beer. Hey, you'll be there. You have pictures taken. You send them to Sam when he's working.
Title match coming up next. Jakob Butturff, Shawn Maldonado. One of them will become a PBA champion for the first time. Jeff Goodger, Randy Peterson, Tom Hess will be back momentarily.
I'm gonna get a guy to drive there and make sure they have a beer. I'll take you along. Where you're going. We're gonna take pictures and send them to Sam while he's working.
ladies and gentlemen, this will be the championship match, the PBA Xtra National Tour Finals. Jacob's won 3 PBA regional tours. Shawn Maldonado has won 8. Dream come true for one of these guys. Immediately after this game, we'll have a quick interview. We'll award these 2 players their checks and awards. Please stick around. For the final time for the 2016 Lubbock Sports PBA Open presented by Xtra Frame, let's send these 2 players off for a nice round of applause.
And here we go, championship match. Shawn Maldonado, Jakob Butturff. Jeff Goodger with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and PBA Major Champion Tom Hess. And it looks as if Shawn Maldonado will be starting on the left lane. Spoke to Jakob Butturff's coach, said Jakob always makes his opponent start on the left lane, no matter what.
Really interesting.
Must be going back to my theory of wanting to finish the match first.
All right, and I get that, but Tommy, what if your ball reaction on the left lane is terrible? Then it makes no sense.
Yeah, if he's got that set in stone, that's something as he grows older, he will change that.
Always if you got both lanes that are close, right? You have no preference. Then I get always. But always, and the left lane is terrible for you, makes no sense to me. So if you would have said he always makes his opponent finish last, if he has a good look on the left lane, I would have been good with it.
Nope, I said what I heard, which is no matter what.
What do you say? What say you, Tom Hess, to that statement?
I disagree with that.
Thank you. Great shot here by Shawn Maldonado, who obviously, as we both, all 3 of us know, really likes that left lane.
Yep, and he's comfortable. You know, I mean, he's been out there. It's his 3rd game. Let's see what Jacob's got.
Jacob's still going with urethane?
Yes, he is.
Seen a lot of urethane go down the lane. Let me rephrase. We've seen a lot of urethane bowling balls go down the lanes this season, Tom. Most of that by real high rev guys, but even Tommy Jones, who quite honestly nowadays is considered kind of that middle of the road power player.
Yeah.
He won a couple weeks ago in Jonesboro throwing urethane in the stepladder finals, but we've seen a lot of urethane go down the lane this season.
Yes, we have.
Why do you think that is?
You know, I don't know. I've tried it. You know, I got a pitch blue at home. They've got to be really sparking for me to use that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my game just doesn't match up to it. I guess it just, you know, gives these guys, they know if they throw it good, it's going to give them more consistent reaction. I suppose less likely to jump off the spot would be. But to be honest with you, Randy, using urethane very rarely even comes into my mind. So
it seems like, Tom, when they get really flat, right, the high rev guys, they can move right, get straight, and at least they can kind of soften up that flatness. In other words, if they miss a little left or right, they can still kind of touch the head pin. Whereas when they're using a real strong equipment, a little left or right is 2A10 washout through the nose, Brooklyn.
Yes.
And so it just tames down the flatness of the pattern.
yes, I would agree with that statement 100%.
Shawn Maldonado looking to take the lead early. Championship match.
Oh, that right lane.
Right lane looks like it pushes just a hair longer down the lane.
Yep.
But he looks like he's blended out this pattern so nicely that maybe a stronger ball just on that lane.
Or just soften the speed just a little.
Or that. Sure. I agree with that. Absolutely. He knows on the left lane he's got return. He's got a little hold. He can be aggressive on the left lane. This is what makes the stepladder finals, the TV finals, so fun for a player. It's all that micromanaging.
See, he's went even a little bit further left. Not a lot, but he's Looks like he's got a 2-1.
Yeah, he keeps chasing it. But it's Tommy, it's all that micromanaging that's done in a split second. All of the information that your eyes and your brain are processing based on what you're seeing when you let go of that bowling ball, hitting you back into the brain, and you doing all these calculations in a split second, and then coming back and making whatever adjustments that are necessary. And a nice strike here by Jakob.
So it was interesting when we saw Shawn's first couple shots on TV, light, you know, just like Jakob. Jake's were in the pocket, but they were not high flush like that one. So we'll see if he's over the first couple shots on TV jitter here.
He left that soft 7, and then he went light, leaving the 3-pin, I believe, in the second frame. But that one faced up nicely. I'm more interested in what his ball reaction is like on this left lane. Very fortunate not to big 4 on that shot. I'm interested to see his reaction on this lane because of the mandatory, I always make my opponent finish.
Yeah, because he's going to finish on that lane.
Very fortunate right there, Tom, that he didn't have a hole, not an open frame. It's just 9 spare, no damage done. Now, Maldonado, you talked about it, maybe a little softer speed on this right lane. Let's see what happens.
He didn't change balls.
That definitely looks softer, didn't it? Did that not look softer to you?
Yes, it did.
Absolutely. You see the change of direction? Now the mindset for Shawn Maldonado. Soft on the right lane, aggressive on the left lane. It's just all that, again, all that micromanaging of dialing it in.
Taking that deep breath, keeping that heart rate slowed. Oh, push. That was way left.
Way left, soft, and just a bad shot.
And he's very fortunate not to be shooting a big 4.
100% agree. In agreement with that. If that's the last bad shot that Shawn Maldonado makes in this championship match, he has a chance. He has a really good chance to win. But I don't think he can afford another shot like that.
No. No, but I agree. If Shawn throws it like he's thrown it the 2 prior matches, I don't see anything from Jakob yet to make me think that he's going to get around Shawn. That's a pretty good shot there. Now we go back to your left lane.
This is the key shot.
This is the key shot.
Light, high. Now what? That's perfect. Can we duplicate that now on the left lane? If you are in the Butturff camp, that is the big question.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was real good. And you could see that as a player. You could see the reaction. Once you finally get the ball to face up perfectly, you see that body language? Ringing 7.
Obviously, he liked it.
Very unique player in what he does with his hand and wrist. Very short backswing. It almost reminds me of a two-handed player, only he's one-handed and using his thumb, but it's about the same mechanics, same movement. The cupped wrist,
it's
the
almost
bent
on
elbow.
his forearm.
Absolutely.
Oh, another bad shot.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, ho, ho.
All right, so
Do you
Tom,
think the first tidal nerves are
Tom,
coming into effect?
I was just going to ask you, as a player, what's going through your mind now? You've been peering every shot. The last 2 shots looked like a rookie that just came out of the bullpen pitching in the World Series for the very first time.
Yeah.
Now what? What's going through your mind as a player? How do you rebound from the last 2 shots that were quite honestly terrible?
You just got to take a deep breath, slow down, tell yourself to trust it, get back to doing what you were doing. That's much better. Oh.
That's what makes this sport so great. You come back finally after 2 extremely marginal shots, and you throw your A shot, and it does that when you could have taken a really nice lead into the latter part of this game, the championship match.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to take 250 to win this.
Right?
Now 220 might be a great score.
I agree.
I think this is a must strike.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
He's thrown 3 shots on this lane, hasn't struck yet, and he decided to finish on it.
Point taken, sir. Great point. Great observation.
You came up with it. I just voiced it.
No, I mean, buddy, I think we're on the same page, though. Strikes on a marginal hit.
Yeah, I was going to say that might be the worst shot he's thrown on that lane.
What does that do to the brain? Knowing that you have to finish on that lane, Tom.
Oh.
Now, with that being said, a lot of that is predicated on what Shawn Maldonado does here in the 8th and 9th.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Wow. And he missed right.
He had to be softer on that lane. Shawn Maldonado's chances of a first career PBA title slipping away right here in front of us.
Oh. This big shot right here. He's got to have this one.
He has to strike out now to have any chance. And again, the problem now is he has to finish on that right lane.
Yes.
Jakob is in the 200s now, working on a double, and he gets to bowl the 9th frame on his good lane. Maldonado must have. All right, he still has a chance. Now, let's see if Jakob Butturff can step up and close the door on the hopes and dreams of Shawn Maldonado. Jakob has been all but perfect on this right lane, striking every shot but once.
Strike 9, spare 8, shuts him out. Oh.
Shawn Maldonado still has life. Pretty good shot here, but another soft 7. Jakob will have an opportunity to win this on the left lane. Yep. The topic of conversation since the start of this championship match. And it's all going to come down to Jakob and the left lane.
Yep.
You know, if he strikes out on this left lane in the title match, for this title, we could actually write a book called Jakob and the Left Lane.
I've already started.
Or boy, those analysts don't know what the heck they're talking about.
You could, but you could always say that. I mean,
I normally do.
Ouch, that hurt. All right, here it is. Title on the line. Ooh. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Shawn Maldonado can double in the 10th frame to win his first career PBA title.
Very fortunate break there to get the 10 out.
Tripped a big split out. Almost leaves a pocket 7-10. He's going to shoot 207, and I promise you that Tom nor myself would have placed a bet saying that 2-0 was going to win this title match.
Yeah, 2-teen was a loser before this match started.
Absolutely. I mean, wasn't there some guy that said at the start of this match that he wouldn't be surprised if Maldonado bowled 300?
Yes.
Who was that? Was that Jeff that said that?
Probably me.
All right, stage is set. Shawn Maldonado needs a double.
Check the tapes there, Jeff. I think that was the other guy that said that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Shawn, double in the 10th will be in the 2-teens. He needs a double and 2 pins. Anything less, Jakob Butturff wins his first ever career PBA title. This is what it's all about, folks, in professional bowling right here.
I guarantee he's dreamed about this moment forever. Yes, there's one.
I like the fact that he didn't get all amped up after that. He knows what's at stake. One more just like it. Nice pin carry, 7-10 standing last. Shawn Maldonado, 1 strike and 2 pins away from career title number 1. It just doesn't get any better in our sport than this, folks.
This is what we grew up dreaming of. This spot right here. 1 strike to win their first title. Oh! Wow.
Just a bit much at the bottom. Ball drifts high. Leaves the 4-pin. Jakob Butturff wins sitting on the bench. 207 to 205. What a finish to the 2016 Lubbock Sports PBA Open here at South Plains Lanes. Jakob Butturff winning his first ever career PBA title.
And Randy Peterson going to head down to the lanes, get a word with our champion, Jakob Butturff. Tom Hess, thanks for joining us throughout the stepladder final.
Jeff, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
How about a big round of applause for your champion, Jakob Butturff. What an exciting title match, Jakob. Tom Hess and I were talking about this is what it's all about in professional bowling, coming down to the 10th frame. What was going through your mind when Shawn Maldonado got up in the 10th to possibly win this?
Well, you know, Shawn, he's been bowling great all weekend. You know, that was probably one of the toughest matches I've had so far all of today, and he put up a great match. I honestly thought he got them both. He threw 2 bad shots on this lane, but then I knew he was just going to come back and just try to throw his best shots ever. So in my mindset, Shawn, I thought, won it. So, but hats off. He bowled great all weekend.
What went through your mind when you saw that 4-pin standing on the second shot in the 10th frame?
Winning your first title, it's very overwhelming and just heart drop, you know. Best feeling ever, winning your first title.
What do you have to say to these fans that you bowled in front of all weekend long to capture your first ever title?
Thank you guys for coming out. It was well of a blast. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jakob. Lubbock, Texas, thank you so much.